Hey guys. Hello my lovelies. Bonjour. Hey Pop, how you doing guys? Good morning. Bonjour. Hola. Come on out. Salute. G'day. Bienvenue. Whatever. Hey Buck, how you doing? Alright, so I just let the kiddos and the laying flock out. Some of them are already out. Sitting here in front of my Justin Rhodes style chickshaw that I've modified a little bit over the years. I have three of these, two of them in use right now. So I just want to lay the groundwork for this series. I'm going to go through the different hatcheries. I'm going to do a separate video on each of the hatcheries that I have purchased from and talk about them. Those are going to be done indoors though. I'm going to be inside sitting at my computer. I'm going to share my screen as I go through their catalog. I just don't have I guess the kids today are saying the bandwidth, the time to do something out here outdoors on all of the birds, all of the breeds, and all of the hatcheries that I've worked with. It's just easier for me to sit in front of the computer and talk about their and talk about their catalog of birds and my experience with each of the different ones, good, bad, and indifferent. But I just want to do kind of a starter video here, just to talk about in general. So when I am perhaps not the average person buying chickens. So everything I'm going to say over the course of these videos and in this one is, it's like with everything, it's to be taken with a grain of salt, and a caveat that your mileage may vary, okay? I'm going to do this kind of quickly because my perfect little person is still asleep in the car. I've only done about half my chores. I'm trying to get it all done before she wakes up so I can get her home and make her some lunch. She's tired after we went to the Y today. So, and I'm just going to keep switching hands because I don't yet have a camera holder. So my original idea was to start a farm as a market garden farm, directly a Jean-Martin Fortier style market garden, selling to my customers at the farmer's market. I already had quite a big clientele. Hey brother! I hadn't seen brother or sister yet today, so I always get nervous. If you follow the shorts on my channel, those are the feral chicks that I've been slowly befriending. But anyhow, straight up, I want to do a Fortier style market garden. But I was also, this was before 2018. The farm officially started in 2018, but I've been doing my research. I paid for the Market Gardener Masterclass and went through all those courses, which is very helpful. I'll talk about, I guess, the benefits or detriments of that later in a different video. But I'd been following lots of folks on Instagram and I was seeing all these beautiful, colorful baskets. Now they're quite common. Baskets of eggs, sorry. Now they're all quite common. But at the time, they were really unique. And I think it's great that everybody's into that now. I love all the diversity. But I thought, well, hey, I'll get some chickens because I had been researching chickens too. Like I'd gone through Justin Rhodes permaculture chickens. I'd already had the plans for the chickshaws. I learned about chickens with Jeff Lawton when I did my PDC, and some other stuff. So it's not like I just randomly decided to get chickens. Like I had done a lot of reading and I'd been thinking about getting chickens that laid eggs, colorful eggs, because that would be my marketing. That would be my unique selling principle for a business term. That would be the neat thing about me at the farmer's market was, oh, that guy's got great vegetables and baked goods. And he sells really colorful chicken eggs, which everybody at the farmer's market now, it's still today, it's either all white or brown. And I knew that I wanted to do something different. But also not just from a marketing standpoint, it's genuinely what I was interested in chickens. Like I have never had any interest in a flock of all Leghorns or all Rhode Island Reds. I really like diversity. I was an art major, art and art history in college. And the colorful eggs just really spoke to me. But the idea was I'd do the chickens and some ducks and some guineas and eventually some geese and all that. But I was going for a colorful basket, and over time I've learned the market garden is not the best fit for me, but the chickens really took off, and in some ways they set back the market garden, but in other ways they've been my greatest joy about working here. So when I started to select my breeds, I looked at those people on Instagram who had the really colorful egg baskets, and I talked to them about, well, what are these breeds? And then I went to the Livestock Conservancy's website, which is a great website. It's all free resource. They've recently changed it, and I'm not crazy about the redesign, maybe because I'm old and I just like things the way they were, or maybe it's not the best redesign. But anyhow, I went there and I started going down their list of poultry. I looked at the chicken breeds and I was like, what is critically endangered, what is endangered, what is threatened, what is on watch? I knew that I wanted an all heritage flock because, again, for me, it's more interesting as a person who likes art and the amazing display of genetic diversity that's available in life, in the world, in everything. But also I thought that would be a good marketing angle as well, that we raise colorful eggs from only heritage breeds. And that has remained true. I have never bought a sex link, a sex linked bird. And for the longest time, I didn't have broilers. I didn't want something that didn't breed true, even though I didn't know that I was going to be interested in breeding chickens. Again, I just wanted a heritage breed. And I really went through their lists and I tried to draw from the most endangered breeds that would also fit in with my system, that could bear some confinement in terms of being in the chickshaws at night, but then out during the day. I always knew I was going to do rotational grazing with Premier One electronet fencing. That style I learned from there's two hens fighting behind me. I learned that from Jeff Lawton and Justin Rhodes. I always knew that that was best for the birds, and it was what I wanted to do, and I have the space here to do it. So I went through that list on their site, and that was how I did it. And then I started looking at rates of lay and egg color and just what birds look cool to me. I didn't originally know that I was going to get into bantams, but I joke about this all the time. My little Dutch, I can't believe I'm forgetting their name, but they're little bearded and winged feet. They're not Brabanters. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of this. Belgian Danvers, not Dutch. There we go, sorry, Belgian Danvers. I saw a picture of them online and I was like, I have to have this bird. Like, my pupils just dilated, and I used to joke that all the birds just would come in for an interview, the breeds. The Belgian Danvers just submitted an 8x10 glossy, and I was like, you're hired. I had no real practical use for them, but they've become one of my favorite breeds, and they actually are a really great addition. I was fully vegan because of my heart disease for 7 years, during which I did start the farm. I never had any intention of harvesting my birds. I think it would be a great business for someone if you want to grow heritage breeds for meat. I definitely think you should be doing that if it's your family. I'm trying to organize my thoughts here, but if you are just growing, you want to grow the best quality food for your family, and that includes not just eggs, but also meat, do your research and look up some of these amazing heritage breeds. If you don't have to worry about some kind of production schedule and flipping these birds and turning them into, meat for sale within 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 24 weeks, whatever. If you just want to eat really good food, don't get a Cornish cross. They're not healthy birds. They're not sickly birds. They may be what everybody's used to, but God, do the reading. Get old French varieties that were famous for being gavored really well. You could make the flesh just excellent by feeding them in different ways and different things. Look up American breast, because you can't get French breasts here, but it's like a poultry meat that's actually reputedly marbled like beef. Get some heritage breed broilers. If I ate that and was comfortable killing my birds, that is the way that I personally would go. But I don't do that. Everybody here is guaranteed life. Hey, Pop. As I've said in other videos, everybody here is guaranteed lifetime employment. They have a pretty decent healthcare package. My birds have a strong union, so I have to respect them. But I like the diversity in my flock. I like seeing all these different breeds. I like having a colorful basket. I like having freckled eggs and chocolate eggs and terracotta eggs and blue eggs and pink eggs and pastel eggs and really large eggs and much smaller eggs. The only like commercial sex-linked bird I have here is I think I have a cinnamon something or other that my friend Bonnie rescued from her neighborhood that had been on the loose for like 2 months. Escaped from somewhere. Nobody ever tried to catch it. She managed to catch it and asked me if I would take care of it, and I did. So that's like the only, commercial. And I guess you could maybe say I have the McMurray Hatcheries Heritage Delaware Broilers, which I'll talk about in a different video. But again, it's a heritage breed. Not only does that mean that it comes with a neat history, which I always find the stories of the breeds fascinating. Like, that is the most interesting thing to me. But, what was I going to say? Dang, not only is it a fascinating history... Hopefully it'll come back to me. Hey everybody, I remembered what I was going to say about another great thing about heritage breeds is that you can breed two heritage breed birds together and they will produce more of the same as opposed to your sex links. Those are hybrid birds. Maybe the best way to think about it is like seeds. So you can save like open pollinated seeds of the same variety and they will produce more seeds of the same variety. But if you get like a hybrid, like F1 seed or something from, Johnny's, you can't save those seeds and expect to get the same plant again. Maybe that's a helpful way to think about it. But if you breed like a Dominique hen to a Dominique rooster or vice versa, you're going to get Dominique chicks. If you breed a black sex link to another black sex link, you're going to get some other iteration of their parents that is not going to be the same. It may have better or worse qualities, I think. But it's not the same as the heritage breed, which is a true breed. You breed a Crevecoeur to a Crevecoeur, Java to a Java, Jersey Giant to a Jersey Giant. You will get Crevecoeur chicks, Java chicks, and Jersey Giant chicks. Hopefully that helps. But you get these unique breeds, unique looks, unique eggs. Try and make sure that you get birds that... It's gone, so I'm just going to move on. Try and make sure that you get birds that are adapted to your climate, of course. If you're up north, I wouldn't go for birds with big combs unless you have really excellent protection for them year-round because they're going to get frostbite. I get frostbite on my birds here. I've posted many times, at least on social media, if not on YouTube. Lots of the roosters refuse to roost in their multiple houses that I've made available for them during the really cold, well, year round, but during the really cold weather, they still keep insisting on roosting in their trees. And I have a whole handful of roosters that look like they were dubbed at birth. They had their combs cut off. I didn't do that. That's them staying out in the cold. The boys who went inside, the many houses that are available freely for them to go into, those boys all still have their combs. So, think about that. Think about how you're going to raise them. Think about if you want friendly breeds. I really avoided a lot of the Asian breeds early on because I read lots of stories about how the males are really hyper aggressive. I've found a good way, I think, to deal with surplus roosters. I've got a whole playlist on my rooster run. But now, I had two Malay hens that are wonderful. I love them so much, and I'm super sad that I was never able to breed them with Java the Hutt, my best rooster, who passed this year. But, look into temperament if you want a lap chicken. And look at birds that you think are interesting. Look at what your needs are. I just don't think that the average family, needs or can really, I don't want to say justify because it's a personal decision, but like okay, you can get 6 chickens. Well, why would you get all leghorns? That's going to lay on it, you know, and you have like you and your wife, or you and your husband, or, you know, 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids. You know, if you've got a big family, that's great. But my Facebook feed is littered with local friends here, and we live in a very rural part of Virginia in the country. They're like, hey, we have extra, you know, eggs. We've got surplus dozens. Of course you can sell them, but if you're not interested in selling them, if you just want them for yourself, you don't need a flock of birds that can live for a year and a half or 2 years before they start having problems being egg bound, and just other kind of general health issues, unless, again, you want to process them. But if you have a bird that only lays 3 eggs a week or 2 eggs a week, well, if it's one of 6 and they're all different, you know, have some production birds, have some that are known for really pumping out the eggs, and there are tons of heritage breeds that do that. And then, you know, get you some that maybe don't put out quite so many, but the eggs are really special. Maybe they're freckled, maybe they're purple, maybe they have a really heavy bloom, maybe they're chocolate like Moran's eggs. Maybe they're, you know, white but like more round than egg-shaped, or oblong like the Brabant eggs. And in my videos coming up, I'll talk about the inventory of these different hatcheries. I've been really sad to see some of my favorite hatcheries have fewer and fewer uncommon breeds every year. And it makes me really sad, because I had the privilege of having awesome birds like Norwegian Yarhans and Swedish 55s, and even something as common as an American heritage breed like a Buckeye. A lot of them are not available anymore, and that to me is, I understand the business concerns that force that lowering of options, but it's really sad for me about the diversity. You know, if you follow my farm, you know, just in terms of like fruit trees, and I've got probably all told maybe 90 different cultivars of different fruit trees between apples, pears, and persimmons and figs alone. There's probably more than 100. That's cool. That's neat. That's practical. I can figure out what does well here, what doesn't do well here. And you can do the same thing with your birds. Okay. I think this is about 15 minutes long. I hope there's some decent information in here. I'll be posting the videos as I go through each of the hatcheries as soon as possible. I'm watching Annie all day, every day this week, while my wife is doing a medical rotation for her advanced degree. She's the coolest. So I have a little less time than usual, so I'm going to skedaddle. But feel free to ask questions. As always, helpful comments, helpful critique, questions, concerns, always welcome. You can follow me and more about my farm at Broad Shoulders Farm on Facebook and Instagram. I hope that you and those you care for are having a fantastic day, and that they continue to stay happy, healthy, and well. And happy Valentine's, everybody. I'm going to go and let the rest of my beautiful flock of birds out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, bye-bye.